I am a fourth born of 10, raised by a poor widow. And some of my friends were keen. They asked me if I can go for women rep. So I said, okay, fine, why not? And that is how I said, fine, I will go for women rep. I have been disbursing grants to women mostly, and youths and people living with disability and the elderly, because that is what I know better since I was a young girl. I realized that when women get money, they can do so much. It means the load or the burden of poverty is getting lesser and lesser. Apart from women, we have people living with disability, who many times people's attitude towards people living with disability is wrong. There's a lady who said since she was born, she had never left a compound because mobility was the problem. She would love to access markets just like anybody else, or even going to the toilet. So I looked at her and I imagined if that was me. And that is why I started off looking for how, if they want to depend on themselves, how do we make them these wheelchairs to accommodate? If it's a student, then we thought of putting a small table on the wheelchair. The number is huge. I'm so surprised. In fact, I thought I would reach like 400 only. But now I'm seeing the data is going beyond 1,000. Many older people are suffering because they are lonely. And when they need support, they do not get immediately. And I thought immediately and said, during rainy seasons, there are people who actually also want to be warm. And I bought blankets and I already started distributing. Apart from the blankets, the elderly who come together and apply for grants, they get the grants, depend on themselves. The sites that are dry, semi-arid in Busia, have been supplying tanks so that whenever it rains, they can preserve water for future. If they have such tanks in their schools, at least for some time, they can save time and settle in class and have clean water from the rain. But Budalangi, where everybody assumes that there's a lot of water during rainy season, they have been digging boreholes in schools so that the community around the school and the pupils in the school can get the water from the boreholes. I know that it is very unsafe and unhygienic for most girls who come from the families that are needy. We can assume that it's easy to get sanitary towels, but it is not. Most girls use rags or old mattresses during their menstruation time. They can smell, and two, apart from smelling, they get infections. So sanitary towels, it's like among the things that we must have. I see so many sitting under this scorching sun. It is hot, but they sit there from 8 to 5 in the evening. Most of them get sick. So I thought of also helping out and came up with umbrellas so they can be under a shade and sell their goods. We are still distributing. Most young girls who, unfortunately, some of them are raped, and some of them, because of not having a responsible adult around them, they are misled and they get pregnant. Those girls, most of them, they are learning where we pay fees fully for them. There are people who their homes were swept by floods, that they are no longer with homes. They become homeless. So it triggered me to think of how to help. One, if you give them iron sheets, they will come up with a wall made of mud. So it's easier to get them something they can't afford, to use the available resources like soil to come up with a home. For a needy child, an orphan with no one to pay for them fees, bursary is the way to go. I do write checks to zero balance when it comes to bursary to the needy children and children living with single parents, widows mostly. And having jiggers is not that somebody wakes up in the morning and just gets it. It's poverty. It's lacking even where to sleep. And I started doing these anti-jigger campaigns after high school, at the university. Anytime I'm back home, I've been going around to remove, wash people affected and treat them with the little I had. Now I'm a woman rep, it's even better because I get more medicine to continue treating jiggers. I propose that the women reps, all of them in Kenya, to be considered seriously because women reps are performing